Hello, my dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing well. See, I know that it is difficult to sit in by taking mobile and learn on mobile for few hours. But if your parents says that you have to play game on your mobile, then surely you enjoy that to play that game on mobile. Why? Because you like to play games, your interest is there, and that's the thing, right? Many hours you have to sit, then also you don't have any problem. So same thing, if you take little bit interest in studies, then studies also becomes joyful for you, and that will not be burden for you. Purpose is to make the science subject interesting for you. Let's start today's session. Before starting new topic, quickly recapitulate what you learned till date. So you are learning chapter 11, force and pressure. As you can see on first page, few questions were asked that are like that. What do you do to make a football move? What you will do to make football move? You definitely need to apply force. You need to kick that football, and when you kick that football, you need to apply force. What do you do to make a moving ball move faster? So, how that ball will move faster? Definitely when you apply more force on it. The third question is, how does a goalkeeper stop a ball? See, to stop a ball, goalkeeper must need to apply force in opposite direction, right? So when he apply force in opposite direction, easily he can stop the goal. Next question is asked, how do fielders stop a ball hit by a batsman? So how that fielder will stop? By catching that ball. So when he to catch that ball, he need to apply force. You can clearly see three pictures were given to you. See first picture, in that what is shown, a goalkeeper saving a goal, right? And how he is saving? He is applying force in opposite direction. Second case, a hockey player flicking a ball. Flicking is nothing but quick movements. So by doing that quick movements, he changes the direction of ball, and to do that he need to apply force. Now the third case, a fielder stopping a ball, so he need to catch the ball. So to catch, for that action also what is required? Force is required. Like this, many other actions that we come across in our day to day life, like picking something, opening something, shutting something, kicking something, hitting something, lifting, flicking, pushing, pulling, are nothing but that are used to describe certain tasks. So basically, the main concept is, what is force? Force could be nothing but, it can be push or a pull. Now let's see second page. Activity 11.1 is given to you. In that, what is given? Identifying actions as push or pull. This activity I have given you as your homework, and I hope you all have done that. In this page, underline one sentence. This one, in science, a push or a pull on an object is called a force. Now see the blue color box given at the bottom. In that, one situation is given to you. Magnet attracts piece of iron towards it. Now two questions were asked on the basis of this situation, that Is attraction, that is pull? So what do you think? Of course, it is a pull. Now, second question is asked, what about repulsion between two poles of magnet? So, two poles of magnet move away from each other, and when the objects move away from each other, we can say that it is an example of push. Now, see the third page. New topic is forces are due to an interaction. See one basic example I will give you. Suppose I am teaching you one concept. After that, I will ask questions to you. You will try to answer that question one by one, right? If something is wrong, I will try to correct you, right? I will ask next question, you'll try to answer, okay? And in that way, interaction between student and teacher will take place, right? But now imagine opposite to that. Suppose students are not there, only teacher is teaching to the empty class. Now, in this case, interaction is possible? No. Only teacher need to teach and ask the question, and only the teacher will give the answer. No, interaction is not possible. Interaction will not takes place like this. So for interaction, two or more than two, right? Persons or anything that is required for interaction. See in your textbook, one example is given to you. In first picture, a person is standing behind the stationary car. So if he simply stand behind the car, can he able to move the car? Definitely. It's not possible to move that car, right? Without pushing that car, right? In second case, now he is pushing that car from behind. So when he push the car from behind, he applies force on the car. And once force is applied, we can say that definitely he can able to move that car. So in first case, no interaction, no force is produced. And in second case, he, with the help of his hand, right, touch the surface of the car, right? Interaction takes place, and as a result, he can able to impart force on the car. Now see, other three situations were given to you. In that you need to identify who is pulling, who is pushing, right? Or both are pulling or both are pushing. That you need to find out. See figure 11.3. In this case, both the girls are pushing each other. In figure 11.3b, both the girls are trying to pull each other. Similarly, in figure 11.3c, a man and cow both are trying to pull each other. And at last, one question is asked to you that girls in the two situations are applying force on each other. In same way, is it also true for the man and the cow? What do you think? Yes, same. Both are also applying force on each other. So what we conclude from this topic? We conclude from this topic that at least two objects must interact for a force to come into play. Thus, an interaction of one object with another object results in force between the two objects. Now new topic that we have to discuss, that is exploring the forces. See, for that activity 11.2. See, this activity is very simple. For that what you have to do, you have to select any heavy object. Heavy object can be heavy table, right? Heavy box, anything. Now you have to try to push that heavy object. Is it possible for you to move that object? Think. Now, for your support, suppose if you cannot able to move that heavy object, you can take help of your friend. Call one of your friend to move that object, to push that object. And when your friend helps you to push that object, what is your observation? What will you observe? You will observe that you can easily able to move that heavy box. You can easily able to push that heavy box, right? Now do little bit opposite to this. Now you will tell your friend to stand in your opposite direction. So now you both will apply force on the object but in opposite direction. Will that object move? Note that if object moves, then in which direction that object will move? It is obvious that if you are stronger, then you can able to move that box. And suppose your friend is stronger than you, then you will lose. Your friend will move that box, right? See, one more example is given in your textbook, that is in that it is asked that, have you ever seen a game of tug of war? Now my dear students will tell, Madam, we have not simply seen the game of tug of war, but every year on the sports day we are eagerly waiting for tug of war competition. With enthusiasm you all take part in that competition, right? In that game, members of both the teams try to pull the rope in their direction. Initially, you observed that rope simply does not move in any of the direction. Afterwards, rope begins to move in that direction in which the team member that pulls the rope harder. Simply it proves that the team that apply larger force finally wins the game. Now recall all three examples and what we conclude from that examples that we will discuss. So from first example, right, means both the friends are pushing the box, right, in opposite direction. Both are applying force in actually same direction. At that time what happened? Force is applied on the object in the same direction add to one another. Now second situation, when you and your friend are applying force in opposite direction. At that time what happened? From second activity, we conclude that if the two forces act in the opposite direction on an object, the net force acting on it is the difference between the two forces. Now, the third example, tug of war. In that case, suppose both the team apply same amount of force. Then what will happen? Rope will not move in any of the direction. This three activity says that force could be larger, smaller than the other or equal to each other. Actually, the strength of force is usually expressed by its magnitude. Means how much force you are applying on any object expressed by its magnitude. 6 Newton, 5 Newton, 100 Newton, 1000 Newton, depends how much force one person is applying on the object. In that way, force is expressed by its magnitude. Now see, Paheli is having one question. Question is like that: does it means that the net force on an object is zero if the two forces acting on it in opposite directions are equal? Answer is yes. One simple example you have to keep in your mind, that that first activity that we have discussed, second activity, that you and your friend are applying force on same object but in opposite directions, right? So when you apply same amount of force on one object but from opposite direction, obviously that object will not move. And when the object is not moving, when forces are applied on it, that means net force acting on the object is equal to 0. Now next topic is that we have to recapitulate: a force can change the state of motion. Here also one activity is given to you, activity 11.3. What is given in that activity? That is very simple. You can imagine also, or you have seen that many times in your day-to-day life. You have to take one ball, rubber ball. Initially that rubber ball, you have to keep that rubber ball on one plane surface. Initially the rubber ball must be at rest. You have to gently push that ball. So what happens when you gently push that ball? Ball obviously begins to move. Now one more thing you have to do. When the ball is moving, right, you have to again push that ball in same direction. What you will observe now? Speed of the ball will increase or decrease? Obviously you will say that, madam, speed will increase, because you have applied force in same direction in which direction the ball is already moving. Now imagine second example, second activity, that is, one ball is already moving. You have to keep your palm in front of that moving ball. What will happen to the speed of the ball? What will happen? Obviously speed will decrease, or you can say that ball will stop moving, ball will come to rest. And suppose you hold that moving ball, then definitely it will not decrease the speed, but ball will come to rest only, right? Its speed decreases to 0. Similarly, many other examples were given in your textbook. One example that is given, that when a person is trying to take penalty kick in football match, footballer will apply force on ball, but what was the speed of the ball at that time? You will say the ball is at rest only, so speed of the ball is equals to 0. So when the footballer kick the ball, what you can say? Speed of ball increases. Applied force makes the ball move towards the goal. Suppose the goalkeeper dives or jumps up to save the goal. What will happen? Two things are possible. One thing, that goalkeeper can stop the ball, or second thing, he can simply change the direction of that moving ball. So suppose goalkeeper succeeds in stopping the ball, its speed, means speed of ball, decreases to 0. So what we conclude from that activity and example, that force applied on an object may change its speed. If the force is applied on the object is in the direction of its motion, the speed of the object increases. And if the force is applied in the opposite direction to the direction of motion, then the speed of the object decreases. So force can change only speed of moving object? No, other effects of force are also there. So other effect of force that you have to learn by doing activity 11.4. What is given in activity 11.4? So it says that you have to take a ball, rubber ball, and you have to push that ball on plane surface. So when you push that ball on plane surface, what you will observe? When you apply push means force when you apply it on ball, then that ball begins to move. Now what you have to do, in front of that moving ball you have to keep one ruler, right? One scale you have to keep on in front of that moving ball. What will happen when the ball strikes to that ruler, strikes to that scale? What will happen? Will it continue to move in same direction, or direction of ball changes? Think. What is your observation? You all will observe that the direction of ball will change. Repeat the same activity by slightly changing the direction of ruler every time, deviating its angle. So when you change the direction of ruler, you will observe that the direction in which ball will move every time, the direction of ball will also changes. Few more examples given in your textbook. That is one example of volleyball. In game of volleyball you have seen that every time player push the ball or hit the ball, direction of ball changes every time, right? From one court to another court, direction of ball continuously changes. Same thing happens in cricket match, right? Whenever bowler throw the ball in one particular direction, batsman with the help of his bat will hit the ball, and when he hit the ball, at that time speed as well as the direction of ball changes every time. So another effect of force, we can say that force can change the direction of an moving object. In physics, a change in either the speed of an object or its direction of motion, or both the thing happens simultaneously, is described as a change in its state of motion. Here comes an important word, state of motion. Very important for you to understand. State of motion of an object is described by its speed and the direction of motion. You have to remember the two state of motions. You can imagine one object is moving, that is one state of motion. But when object is not moving, when object is at rest, at that time you have to consider the uh, state of zero speed. So whenever an object is at rest or the object is not moving, at that time you have to consider its speed is equals to 0. But state of motion, yes, state of motion is rest. So what we conclude, an object may be at rest or in motion, both are its states of motion. Now one question arises in your mind that every time you apply force, at that time these changes are always observed. Changes like speed of moving object, or speed of object changes, or direction of object changes, direction of moving object changes. Sometimes these changes are not observed. uh, you will think how. So imagine when you try to push a wall, or when you try to push any heavy object, tractor, truck, anything. When you try to push, right, you apply force on that object, but can you able to change the speed of that object? Means suppose you are applying force on wall, can you able to move wall? No, you cannot able to move wall. Or even truck or bus, when you apply force, you cannot able to move that objects. Can you able to change the direction? No, directions cannot also be, that cannot be changed, right? So sometimes this effects of force may not be seen. Now the last topic that we have to recapitulate, that force can change the shape of an object. Another example given in your textbook, that is when you apply force on an inflated balloon by pressing it between your palms, what you will observe? You will observe that shape of that inflated balloon, that will changes. Similarly, what happens when you press a rubber ball, right? In that case also, shape of rubber ball little bit changes, right? So we can say that force on an object may change its shape. So this all are the effects of force. So how many effects of force that we have discussed? So that are, when you apply force, force may make an object move from rest. Second, when you apply force, due to force, force may change the speed of object if it is moving. Now third one is, force may change the direction of motion of an object. Fourth one, force may bring about a change in the shape of an object. Now it is important that whenever you apply force, you can able to see one change or one effect of force. All four effects of force can also be seen. So above all things are possible only if force is applied on the object, right? If no force is applied, we can say that speed of object will not change, object will not move from rest position, shape of object cannot be changed, as well as direction of object cannot be changed if force is not applied. So no force, no such changes are observed in our day-to-day life. So when you see any kind of change, means change in speed, change in direction, change in shape, when object moves from rest position, every time force is applied on the object. Activity 11.5, carefully. Few examples were given to you, means examples means different situations were given to you. First case, that is lump of dough on a plate, that is given to you. So when you apply force on that lump of dough, what you will observe? Shape of that dough always changes. Whenever you apply force, shape of that dough changes. Now second situation is like that, spring fixed to the seat of an bicycle. So whenever person will sit on that bicycle, you can say that spring will compressed, right? Suppressed. So whenever pressure is applied on the spring, right, its shape will change. Whenever person will stand, at that time again spring will take their original shape, it will expand. Now third situation is given like that, a rubber band suspended from a hook or any nail fixed on a wall. So what happens when you stretch that rubber band? Obviously the shape of rubber band will change. This effect of force, we can see shape of rubber band changes. So when person will release that rubber band, again rubber band will take its original shape. Fourth example that is given to you, a plastic or a metal scale placed between the two bricks. So whenever you keep two bricks on that scale, due to weight, what will happen? The structure, right, or shape of that scale will changes. Initially scale will be straight, but as soon as you keep bricks on it, what you will observe, it will curved from the center, right? So its shape changes whenever you take out that bricks, then again scale will become straight. So we can say that force can change the shape of an object. Now one video I am sharing with you, in that you will learn about types of forces.